The visitor at the gate. The night was cold. The sky above the military base was dark and silent. Only the red warning lights blinked slowly on top of the high metal walls. Inside, soldiers walked with heavy boots, guns ready. Eyes sharp. Commander Ray sat inside the control room, sipping bitter coffee. He looked tired. The war had taken too much from him, his home, his team, and his daughter. Suddenly, a loud alarm broke the silence. Unidentified life form approaching. Gate 7. A voice shouted through the speakers. Soldiers rushed. Lights flashed. Cameras zoomed in. On the screen, they saw something strange. A tall figure, walking slowly, limping, holding something in her arms. Alien. Someone whispered, "Commander." Ray stood up. "Bring it on screen." "Full view," he ordered. The camera zoomed. It was a female alien, skin pale blue, eyes glowing faintly. Her body was hurt. She was bleeding from her side. In her arms, she carried a small child wrapped in a cloth. The child looked weak. Maybe dying. Ray frowned. What the hell? The alien reached the gate. She knelt down, carefully placing the child in front of her. Then, with shaking hands, she pressed the button on the gate speaker. Her voice came through broken English, soft and shaking. "If you have a heart, please, let my daughter in." Everyone froze. The room went silent. "She is sick. She will die. Please. I can pay you. I will give you my body. Just save her." Some soldiers laughed nervously. Some looked away. Ray said nothing. His eyes stayed on the screen. She was crying now. Her tears shimmered like silver. The child coughed, a weak, dry sound. Her skin looked part human, part alien. Small fingers, dull golden eyes. Not fully alien, not fully human. "She's a hybrid," the medic whispered. "Half human." Ray stared harder. How is that possible? Outside, the alien mother pressed her head against the cold metal gate. She whispered something in her own language, then looked back into the camera. "You are humans. You care? I know you care. Please. She's just a child." I gave the order. "Open the outer gate. Let her enter the first chamber. Scan for weapons." The gate buzzed and opened halfway. The alien slowly stood up, holding her daughter. She walked inside the scanning area and collapsed. Soldiers ran in. Medical teams followed. "She's bleeding bad," one medic said. Another scanned the child. Heart rate dropping fast. "She won't make it in 10 minutes. Ray entered the chamber himself. He looked at the woman on the floor. "Who are you?" he asked. She looked up, barely breathing. "My name doesn't matter. I had a human mate. He died, protecting us. I ran. They are chasing us. She's special. You must help her." Ray looked at the child. Something about her face pulled his heart. For a second, he saw his own daughter's face, the one he lost in the war. "What's her name?" "Lyra," the mother said weakly. Ray turned to the medic. "Save her." The mother grabbed his arm. "Promise me, even if I die. You will protect her. I promise," he said quietly, as the medics rushed the child away. A loud noise shook the ground. Boom. An explosion in the distance. Sirens started again. "They've found us," someone said. Ray looked at the mother. Her eyes filled with fear. "They've come. They want her. They will destroy everything." Ray turned back toward the gate. Outside, in the sky, glowing red. Shapes were falling. Not stars. Not meteors. Enemy ships. The alien mother reached out her hand. "You promised," she said. Ray nodded. He pressed the alarm button. Red alert. "All units, prepare for attack." He looked at the child being carried down the hall. Small, fragile, innocent, and he whispered to himself, "This time, I won't lose her." Asterisk, the sound of boots echoed through the long hallway. Medics ran fast, pushing a small hover stretcher. On it, the alien child, Lyra, lay still. Her skin looked pale. Her breathing was slow, her eyes half open, full of pain. Inside the medical room, bright lights flickered. Machines beeped. Screens scanned. But none of the human tools understood her biology. She's fading, the head medic said. She's not responding to oxygen. Her blood is different. Commander Ray stood near the door, watching silently. His hands clenched into fists. He had seen many wounded soldiers before, many deaths. But this child, something about her was different. She looked part human. "Try everything," he said. "We don't let children die in here." The medics injected a mix of human medicine and nanobots. A scanner moved slowly over her body. Suddenly, the machine beeped. Red warning. DNA mismatch detected. "What does it mean?" Ray asked. "She's not just alien," the medic said. "She's part human." Ray stepped closer. "Are you sure?" The medic nodded. "Her blood has human markers. Type O negative. That's Earth origin. But the rest of her, it's like nothing we've seen." Behind them, the alien mother lay on a bed, still bleeding. Her eyes fluttered open. She saw her daughter on the stretcher and cried out weakly. "Lyra." Ray moved to her side. "Tell me everything now." She took a shaky breath. 10 years ago, your kind came to our world. Scientists, peace talks, one of them. His name was Dr. Elias Moore. He was kind. He didn't see me as alien. We fell in love, secretly. We knew it was forbidden. But love doesn't follow rules. Ray's eyes narrowed. Dr. Moore was declared missing. Presumed dead. The mother nodded slowly. He died, saving us from them. She pointed up. "The highborn," she whispered. "Rulers of my world. They see hybrids as poison. They believe Lyra is a curse. But Elias believed she is hope." Ray's voice dropped low. "Why did you come here?" "Duh. Because she's dying. Her blood is fighting itself. Half of it belongs to your world, half to mine. I thought, maybe your science could help her. And because I have no one left." Silence fell in the room. The machines around Lyra beeped slower. The medic looked up. "We're losing her." Ray stared at the girl. Her chest rose and fell slowly, like a leaf in the wind. She looked so small, so helpless. He remembered his own daughter, Mia. She died of radiation sickness during the last Martian war. He couldn't save her. He wouldn't let another child die. "Prepare the cryopod," Ray ordered. "Freeze her condition." "We'll buy time." But Commander, the medic started. No arguments. "Do it." Minutes later, Lyra was gently placed inside a transparent cryopod. Cold mist swirled as the glass closed over her. The freezing gas slowed her heartbeat. Her pain faded. For now, she was safe. The alien mother touched the glass. "Thank you." "You?" Ray looked at her. "What's your name?" "Soraya." "Right." "Soraya," he said. "We'll protect your daughter." But we need answers. Why are the highborn after her?" Soraya sat up slowly. Because Lyra is not just a child. She is the first of her kind. A bridge between species. She can understand. Minds speak in dreams. They fear she will unite the broken races. End their rule. She coughed, blood on her lips. They want her dead before she learns who she is. Ray felt a chill dot in the distance. Alarms rang again. Boom. Boom explosions shook the walls. An officer rushed in. "Commander. Enemy ships. Spotted highborn crafts. They're scanning for the child." Ray clenched his jaw. "They found us already." "Yes, sir. They're demanding we hand her over. or they'll destroy the base. Soraya whispered. They never stop. Not until she is gone. Ray looked at the frozen pod. Then at Soraya. We're not giving her to them. He turned to the officer. Call all units. Activate shield dome. Repair counterstrike. And send a message to Earth Command. Tell them we have a hybrid child that could change everything. Soraya smiled weakly. Maybe, this time, your world will listen. Ray placed his hand gently on the cryopod. We've lost too much in this war. It's time to protect something that matters. Outside, enemy ships circled like vultures. Inside, a small child lay frozen between life and death, and the future of two worlds rested in her tiny, silent heart. The sky above the base turned blood red. Commander Ray stood on the rooftop of Outpost 17, binoculars in hand. His eyes scanned the sky. Hundreds of highborn ships floated silently like dark birds. They didn't fire. Not yet. They were waiting. Watching inside the command room, alarms blinked. Red lights bathed the floor. Soldiers loaded weapons. Drones hovered. Tension hung in the air like smoke before fire. Ray walked in. Status: 17 ships. Commander, the officer said. All highborn class, fully armed, no communication yet. Ray narrowed his eyes. They're giving us a choice. Surrender the child or burn. Below ground in the medlab, Lyra remained frozen in the cryopod. Her skin pale, her small hand pressed against the glass, as if trying to reach out from a dream. Her mother, Soraya, sat nearby, hooked too. For fluids. Her body weak, but her mind sharp. When Ray entered, she looked at him. They've come, haven't they? Ray nodded. We can hold them off, for a while. No, she whispered. You don't understand. Highborn don't negotiate. They show you the knife, and then they cut. Ray leaned forward. Then help me stop them. Tell me what Lyra is. Soraya looked at her daughter in the glass. She was born under twin moons. That is rare. Even for my kind. She dreams in voices. She speaks to machines without words. She once made a dying tree bloom with a touch. Ray frowned. So, she's psychic. Soraya shook her head. No, she is not a weapon. She is a mirror. She shows others what they truly are. That's what they fear. The highborn rule through lies. If others see their truth, they fall. Ray stood silent for a moment. What would she show us? Soraya smiled. That your war is not over because of hate, but because of grief. Suddenly, a deep vibration shook the walls. Boo, OOM. The base trembled. They fired a warning shot. Someone yelled over the speaker. Tor shield at 60%. Ray rushed back upstairs. The enemy had sent their answer. A glowing sphere hovered near the base gate. It opened, and a projection appeared in the sky. A tall figure in silver armor. Face hidden behind a sharp mask. The voice echoed like thunder. Give us the hybrid child. You have 5 minutes. Or face extinction. Soldiers looked at Ray. What now, sir? He didn't answer right away. He looked down and saw something strange. Lyra's cryopod screen was blinking. Heartbeat rising. Brain activity spiking. Ray rushed back inside. The pod lights were flashing blue. Lyra's eyes moved behind her lids. Her fingers twitched. She's waking up, the medic said, shocked. Soraya stood, leaning on the wall. No, she's fighting. She senses danger. Cracks appeared on the cryoglass, not from damage, but from heat. Suddenly, the screen turned black. System failure. Lyra's eyes opened, glowing faint gold. Everyone froze. She sat up slowly inside the pod. Her lips parted. They're angry, she whispered. They want to erase me. Ray stepped forward. Can you stop them? She looked at him, her eyes old, too old for a child. I don't know, but I can try. Another explosion. The base shook again. Outside, highborne ships began charging weapons. Inside, Ray made a decision. Opened the roof hatch. Let them see her. Commander R, you sure? I'm sure. And the ceiling opened slowly. Lyra stepped forward, barefoot. Small, glowing. She walked to the center of the rooftop. She raised her hand. Everything stopped. Literally. The wind, the sound. Even the clouds in the sky. Froze time had stopped. Ray blinked. His watch wasn't moving. Soraya stared. She's never done this before. Lyra closed her eyes. A soft hum filled the air. The ships in the sky trembled. Then, like puppets with cut strings, they dropped. Not crashing, not destroyed. Just powered off. Frozen dot. Then time resumed. Soldiers gasped. What? What happened? Lyra looked tired. She fell to her knees. Ray caught her. It's okay, he said. You did it. But Soraya was not smiling. No. This was just a warning. They will come back. Stronger. They will not accept defeat. Ray stood up. Well then, he said, holding Lyra close. They better be ready. Because Earth just found its secret weapon. And far above the sky, something darker began to move. A highborne flagship, massive, ancient, awake, watching, waiting. Asterisk, the war room was silent. Everyone stared at the screen, showing the highborne fleet frozen, powerless in the sky. It had been 15 minutes. Not a single ship moved. She did this, whispered Lieutenant Harris. That little girl. She stopped a whole army. Commander Ray stood beside the viewing window. His arms were crossed, but his mind was racing. What? Is she? He finally asked. No one answered. Down in the medbay, Lyra lay asleep, covered with thermal blankets. Her breathing was steady, but her skin glowed faintly like moonlight underwater. Sera sat beside her daughter, brushing her hair with trembling fingers. You gave too much, little star, she whispered. Too soon. The door opened. Ray entered quietly. She saved all of us, he said. No, Soraya replied. She paused them, not defeated. The fleet will recover. And next time, they will not hesitate. Ray walked over, staring at Lyra. She's just a child. But when I look at her, I feel something inside. Like she sees through me. Like she knows my thoughts. Soraya nodded slowly. She does. Ray turned. Is she? Reading my mind, not reading, feeling. She doesn't hear your thoughts. She hears your pain. She hears what your heart hides. Ray fell silent. He thought about his daughter, Mia, about the hospital, about holding her hand as her heartbeat faded. Lyra stirred. Her eyes opened. You miss her, she said quietly. Ray stepped back, stunned. How did you? She used to sing a song with stars in it. You remember? Ray's voice cracked. Yes. Lyra smiled faintly. She forgives you. Tears filled Ray's eyes. Soraya looked at him. Now you understand. This is her true power. Not to destroy, but to heal. Meanwhile, deep under the base, a hidden research lab flickered to life. Dr. Langston, Earth's top xenogeneticist, examined Lyra's blood under a special scanner. He had been flown in by emergency shuttle after Ray's urgent call. What he saw shocked him. Her DNA is possible, he whispered. Half of it was clearly human. The other half, not just alien, but living technology. Not cells, but something else, something that moved like liquid metal, yet behaved like neurons. He ran more tests. A message popped on his screen. Neural match found. Global dataset code. LOV's fingers trembled. She's not just a child. She's a living key. He grabbed his comm. Commander, you need to see this. Back upstairs, Ray reviewed the scans with Dr. Langston. She's connected to something bigger, the doctor said. Somewhere in the galaxy, maybe across. Time something is responding to her, like she's waking up a machine. Or an intelligence. Or maybe both. Ray frowned. Are you saying she's a weapon? Langston shook his head. No, I'm saying she's hope. Ray leaned over the console. What's this file here? The screen showed a memory pattern from Lyra's mind, not hers, but from someone else, a man, Dr. Elias Moore. She carried a piece of his memory, his face, his voice, and a warning. If you're seeing this, Elias said in the hologram, it means Lyra has survived. And the Highborn know, she's the last chance. Her voice can awaken the deep AI hidden in the galactic network, the one we buried during the Orion collapse. That AI can unite species or destroy them all. It will respond only to her empathy, not strength. The message ended. Ray's hands clenched. She's not just a key. She's a test of humanity, of all of us. Outside, in orbit, the highborn ships flickered. Power slowly returned. Engines glowed. Inside their mothership, the masked leader, Supreme Talvar, stood over a glowing table. His generals bowed low. The hybrid has shown her power. One said, it is real. She must not reach the Nexus, Talvar hissed. If she speaks to it, we lose our control. What shall we do? Talvar raised a dark crystal. We release the hollow. Gasps echoed in the room. But, Supreme One, the hollow cannot be controlled. Then we will feed it. Earth. Back at the base, Lyra sat up in bed. Her eyes opened wide in fear. It's coming. Soraya rushed to her side. What is, my love? The hollow? The black hunger. I saw it in my dream. It eats stars. It eats hearts. Ray walked in just in time to hear. Can you stop it? Ha. Lyra shook her head, not alone. Ray turned to the command screen. Get Earth Command on the line and prepare evac options for all civilians. This is bigger than a war. He looked at Lyra. This is the end of everything. Unless we learn how to feel. Again, Lyra reached out and held his hand. And for the first time in years, he felt hope. The room was silent, except for the hum of machines. Commander Ray sat at the edge of the war table, his fingers tapping slowly. Across the screen, Earth's top generals and diplomats appeared as holograms. Their faces were pale. Their voices cold. You're telling us, one general said, that this child can connect with an ancient alien AI. Yes, Ray replied. And that AI can either destroy everything or save us. Then why haven't you used her? Ray looked toward the glass window behind him. Through it, he could see Lyra in the medbay. Still weak, still glowing, because using her might kill her. A long pause. Then we must decide, Commander. One child's life, or the lives of billions. Below, in the medbay, Lyra sat with her legs crossed on the hospital bed. Fingers drew small circles in the air. Light followed her hands like fireflies. Soraya stood nearby, tired but alert. They're going to ask him, Lyra said softly. Ask him what Soraya whispered, to let me die. Soraya's hands shook. No, he won't allow that. Lyra looked up with calm eyes. He's human. He feels pain. But humans also make hard choices. You're not just a choice. Soraya said, kneeling beside her. You're my daughter. You're someone's heart. Lyra smiled faintly. But I'm also someone's answer. In the war room, the debate grew louder. Commander Ray, said the diplomat from Europa. You lost a child before? Of all people? Know what loss means. But this is war. Earth is surrounded. The highborn will destroy us. This child might be our only chance. Ray didn't answer right away. He stared at the small metal token in his hand. His daughter Mia's last bracelet. Worn, broken. Then, he stood up. This isn't just about Earth. It's about who we are. Then decide, the general snapped. Give us the child, or be removed from command. Ray turned off the holograms. Decision made. That night, Ray walked into the med bay, quiet steps, a tired soul. Lyra looked up from her bed. A coup, decided. Ray nodded. I did. Soraya stepped forward. Commander, please. Ray raised his hand. Let me speak to her. Alone, Soraya hesitated, then stepped outside. Ray sat beside Lyra. They want me to let you connect with the Nexus AI. The only problem is, it's the energy it might take. Could kill you? Will it hurt? Lyra asked softly. We don't know, but it could save Earth. Ray looked down. Yes. Lyra was silent for a long moment. Then she asked, if it was Mia, your daughter, what would you do? Ray felt like the air left his chest. He stood, walked to the window, then back again. I don't know. I couldn't save her. I tried, and I failed. He looked at Lyra now, eyes red, and I don't want to fail again. Lyra reached out and held his hand. This time, saving one life means saving many. Ray knelt in front of her. But I don't want to use you. You're not, she said, with a small smile. You're trusting me. Silence passed like a breath. Then Ray pressed his cum. Prepare. The uplink, we're activating the Nexus. In the tech chamber, the floor opened to reveal a glowing ring, the uplink to the hidden galactic AI network. Cables hummed. Lights flickered. Lyra stepped in, dressed in a simple white robe. Her tiny feet echoed on the metal floor. Soraya stood at the edge, shaking. You don't have to do this. I do, Lyra replied. Ray placed a hand on Soraya's shoulder. She's not doing it alone. He stepped inside the chamber with her. If she falls, I fall with her. The machine powered on. Light shot through the room. Lyra closed her eyes. Ray's voice echoed, distant now. We believe in you. Her body began to glow, brighter than ever before. Her thoughts drifted far. Into the black of space, into a vast web of stars and signals, into the Nexus. It felt like falling and flying. Who are you? A voice asked. I am Lyra, she said calmly. Daughter of two worlds, why have you come? To stop the hollow. To stop war. To show hearts. You are small, fragile. But I feel, and I forgive. A pause. Then, connection accepted. The lights in the chamber exploded outward like a starburst. Outside, satellites blinked alive. Porn ships paused in midair. A wave spread across the galaxy. Peace signals sent from the Nexus itself. All races heard it. A message not of war, but of empathy. In the silence that followed, Lyra collapsed. Ray caught her before she hit the floor. Lyra, Lyra. No response. Soraya screamed. No, 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 please. But then, Lyra's eyes opened. Weak, but alive. Did it work? She whispered. Ray smiled through tears. Yes, it worked. And the war, for the first time in history, stopped. Asterisk, the storm had passed. For the first time in years, the sky above Earth's defense base was calm. No fire, no enemy ships. Only a quiet wind moving across the ruins and metal towers, but inside, not all was still. Lyra lay in the healing pod, skin cold, eyes shut. She was breathing, but just barely. Soraya stood beside her, hands pressed to the glass. She gave. Too much, whispered Dr. Langston. her neural core overloaded during the Nexus link. Her body wasn't ready for it. Ray clenched his jaw. So how do we save her? The doctor hesitated. There's one way. The alien part of her biology is failing. If we could replace it, even temporarily, maybe she could recover. Eyes turned slowly toward the doctor. You mean with mine? A long silence. Ray looked between them. What are you saying? Dr. Langston spoke gently. She needs organic transfer. From a living host, but it will drain the donor. Entirely, Ray stepped back. You're talking about suicide. Soraya nodded. No. I'm talking about a mother's choice. That night, Soraya sat in the dark beside Lyra's pod. She spoke softly, not to the others, not to herself, but to her daughter. I was never meant to have you. You were a crime, a secret. But I never believed that. From the moment I felt you inside me, I knew you were light. Your father said you would change the galaxy. I thought he was being romantic. But he was right. You have his eyes, but your heart, that's mine. She placed her forehead on the glass. And now I give it to you. In the transfer chamber, the machines were ready. Ray stood watching as Soraya removed her outer cloak. Her body was covered in faint scars, evidence of war and escape. She walked barefoot to the platform beside Lyra. Are you sure? Ray asked. His voice was rough. There is no doubt, Soraya said. We can find another way. She smiled sadly. That is what humans always say. But sometimes, the only way is to give. Lyra stirred in the pod. A tear rolled down Soraya's cheek. She must live in a world where choices are not made with weapons, but with hearts. The machines activated. A beam of soft blue light surrounded Soraya and Lyra. Dr. Langston watched the data spike. It's working. Neural bond is syncing. Transfer begun. Sierra looked at Ray one last time. Tell her to live. Ray nodded, his hand over his heart. She know. Then Soraya closed her eyes. Her breath slowed. Her skin glowed. Her life flowed into Lyra. The room fell quiet. The lights dimmed, and Soraya's body turned still. But Lyra blinked her chest. Rose, her eyes opened. A small, sharp breath escaped her lips. She sat up slowly, confused. Mama Ray stepped forward, kneeling beside her. Oh, she saved you. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. Where is she? Ray looked away. She's with you now, in every breath, every heartbeat. Lyra reached toward the empty platform, where her mother had lain. Her small fingers touched the space, and tiny lights bloomed in the air, glowing shapes like stars dancing around her hand. A memory, a goodbye. I heard her, Lyra whispered. She said, keep shining, little star. Days later, the galaxy listened. The Nexus had begun to speak, not in commands, but in signals of peace. One by one, hostile ships powered down. Borders faded. Transmissions flowed between species that had been enemies for generations. And at the center of it all was a child, half human, half alien. Fully heart, Lyra walked beside Ray as ships from different worlds landed around Earth's space, not to invade, but to talk. A Martian elder gave her a small flower that grew in dry soil. A synthetic intelligence bowed to her, saying, we have no heart, but we feel yours. Ray watched it all, and yet, at night, he still found himself looking at the stars, remembering Soraya. She changed everything, he once said. Lyra replied, she didn't change the galaxy, Ray. She reminded it. Reminded it of what? Lyra smiled. That love is a power too, but far beyond the edge of light, deep in the void. The hollow stirred. It had felt the loss. It had tasted the fear, and it hungered still. Space was silent. But something was coming. Not with ships. Not with weapons. It came like a shadow across the stars. The hollow dot, it didn't move through space. It devoured it. Systems vanished as it passed. Suns dimmed. Planets fell cold. And now it had seen Earth. At the base, Lyra stood on the tower's highest platform. She was older now, not in years, but in spirit. Her eyes held galaxies. Her voice, still soft, could stop storms. She watched the blackness grow in the sky. Ray stood beside her. We've united species, ended war. But this thing, it doesn't want power. It wants emptiness. It doesn't hate us, Lyra whispered. It doesn't feel anything. That's why it's dangerous. Down below, world leaders met with alien envoys. Ships from Mars, Europa, Titan, and even former highborn cruisers formed a circle of defense. Everyone waited, and everyone feared. How do we stop it? Ray asked. Lyra didn't answer. Not right away. Then she said, by doing what it cannot. The hollow came. A wave of nothingness. Light bent. Matter broke. Ships vanished without sound. Earth's defenses activated. Missiles launched. Cannons fired. Nothing touched it. It was like trying to kill a nightmare. Panic spread across the command room. We're losing ships. It's absorbing energy. Ray turned to Lyra. Now, tell me what to do. She stepped forward. Calm, barefoot. Unafraid, open the sky gate. What? Let me face it. A floating platform rose from the base, lifted by energy fields. Lyra stood alone at the center. Her arms spread wide. No armor, no shields. The hollow stopped, as if curious, as if confused. Inside, it was no mind, no soul, just an ancient hunger. Lyra closed her eyes. You are alone, she whispered. You have eaten suns, broken worlds, but you feel nothing. That is your curse. I forgive you. Double quotes, silence then. A crack, not of sound, but of being. The hollow hesitated. Lyra's voice echoed across space, not through sound, but feeling. She sent a memory dot of Soraya, laughing, holding her, of Ray crying beside her, of unity between enemies. Of songs sung in bunkers, of children from different stars, holding hands. The hollow shook. Parts of it crumbled. Memories passed through it like wind through ash. Then Lyra did something no one expected. She stepped into it. Ray screamed. Lyra! But she was already inside. There was no floor, no shape, only cold. Silence. She reached deeper into the heart of the hollow. And she found it. A single spark. Not evil, not cruel, just broken. Like a child who had never been loved, she whispered, It's okay. You don't have to be afraid anymore. She opened her mind and offered her final memory. Her mother's heartbeat, soft, gentle, full of light. The hollow cracked, then shattered across the galaxy. Dark skies turned clear. Ships that had vanished reappeared. Satellites blinked alive, and on Earth, the wind shifted. The hollow was gone. Not killed, healed. Later, Ray walked through the garden outside the base. It was peaceful now. Children played. Trees bloomed. A small voice called out. Ray. He turned. Lyra stood there, alive. She ran to him, and he knelt, holding her tight. How? He asked. The hollow gave something back. What? It gave me a second chance. On the anniversary of the hollow's fall, the galaxy celebrated. Not a victory of war, but a victory of heart. Lyra stood before the new galactic council. She didn't speak like a leader. She spoke like a child. Once, we thought strength came from fear, from weapons, from silence. But my mother taught me something else. That love is not weakness. It is not soft. It is the only. Thing that cannot be copied, stolen, or erased. And if you ever forget that look at me, I was born from two enemies. And now, I'm everyone's child. The crowd stood and they applauded, not for power, but for hope. That night, Ree looked up at the stars. He still missed Mia, but somehow, holding Lyra's hand, he didn't feel broken anymore.